All right, y'all. Before I get started on this Raw review, I'm just gonna give my brief 2 cents about Battleground that happened last night. All I can say is that this is the best Battleground that I have ever seen. Like, seriously. Sure, we had two matches that, in my opinion, were duds, but Natalia's match was okay. I didn't like the ending, but it just didn't do much for me. And yes, unfortunately, they didn't really make Darren Young great again because nobody knew what the heck was going on. And I think it was a DQ. I don't know. But I don't know what they're doing with him. Seriously. But other than that, the match of the night, of course, was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I have probably had a lot of flack. Well, I gave it a lot of flack because of the draft. The draft made it feel like that it was just going to be continuing and it wasn't special anymore. I was freaking wrong. I haven't heard the Fight Forever chant since NXT Dallas. And not to mention that Kevin Owens did the same exact thing that Shawn Michaels did to Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24, I believe, when it was in Orlando. And he said, everyone knows the famous line that Shawn Michaels said, I'm sorry, I love you. He did, so why can't you stay down? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this to you. Just stay down. It made you feel like he cared a little bit about his best friend, as well as Sami Zayn hugging his head before he gave him a Helluva Kick. It seems like they both care about each other as best friends. They never will stop. But their competition is what's driving a wedge between them. They told an amazing story in the ring. That's what made it excellent to watch. And made it, in my opinion, the match of the year. That's a match of the year contender, y'all. Seriously. The main event had its good points too. It actually was fairly good, as well as the tag team match with Enzo and Cass and John Cena versus the Club. And I know it felt like it was going to be the last for everybody because everybody was going to go their separate ways after this. But I'm going to be real. John Cena did a great job with Enzo and Cass, and it really felt like that he was indeed passing the torch. It didn't feel like that he tried to stamp on anybody. And it was a really great Battleground. Especially, and I love being wrong, that it was Bayley that came out. Before I thought it was a legend, but it was Bayley. Bayley, let's be honest, she has not been drafted to any of the brands yet, but it's only going to be a matter of time. Especially that it seems like they're going to probably, and this is just my own personal theory. I don't know any news, but I am hoping to have a women's tag team titles. I'm hoping that will happen. But other than that, great Battleground. I loved it. It was amazing. It was a really great pay-per-view. I have no beef at it at all. And also a brief announcement. Since the brand split, I know that I have been doing power rankings only based on Raw. But starting in August, I am actually going to do power rankings for SmackDown. I'm going to alternate between Raw and SmackDown up to WrestleMania. It's going to be a little weird, but at least there'll be less people, so I'll be able to balance everything out. But this month is going to be based on everyone before and even after the brand split. So it's going to be a little weird here. But other than that, I'm just going to let you guys know that. But it's not really so much about Battleground. It's not about the power rankings. It's about Raw tonight. And let's get started with this review because we have a lot to talk about. As you can hear, my voice is pretty much about gone. And I'm going to get into that reason in a little bit. But honestly, guys, this felt like a new day on the job. Like, that's pretty much how they started off the intro. They invited everybody from the new roster out here. Out to the stage. And he pretty much, both Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon laid down the ground rules of what they were going to do. Not really so much the ground rules, but what they were going to do to the new brand. The one thing that makes me happy is that it wasn't so much about the Authority. You only saw them one time. That's it. They came out, they said what they were going to do, and that's it. You didn't see them every single shot all the time. Maybe here or there, but it wasn't consistent, which is one thing that I loved. And that showed me that the Authority is taking their step back and only coming out when they have to. And the one thing that actually did kind of spice things up, in my opinion, was the Fatal 4-Ways. And I love the Fatal 4-Ways matches. The first Fatal 4-Way, good grief, was it amazing. I mean, I would love to actually see Sami Zayn win, but I was okay with Finn Balor. I mean, we had Finn Balor, we had Sami Zayn, we had, and I think I'm probably meshing the two. No, Chris Jericho was in the second one. But we had two Fatal 4-Ways. I can't really remember everybody that was in because we had two of them. Kevin Owens. I know Kevin Owens was in the first one. Sami Zayn was in the second one. But honestly, and Rusev. Oh gosh. Okay. One thing that I was thinking when I actually saw the first Fatal 4-Way was, can we please get a tag team between Rusev and Kevin Owens? It would work. Like, in my opinion, it would work. They both have huge personalities, but they really would they would work for a greater cause. I really do believe that Kevin Owens and Rusev will be excellent tag team champions, but these guys are way too big. Their names are way too big for them to be tag team champs. So I know it will never work, but it will really be great if they were in the tag team and they actually went to be tag team champions. Just saying. But that was an amazing Fatal 4-Way. I loved the first Fatal 4-Way. Oh my gosh. Kevin Owens is the best storyteller heel I have ever seen in a long... I mean, he's a great storyteller. He is. I enjoy seeing him perform. How loud that guy yells, how you pretty much hear exactly what he's saying. He tells a story while he performs. It's great. I love it. I really do. And him and Rusev got along in a very strange way. And I would love to see those guys actually perform together, like I said before. And I loved that first Fatal 4-Way. The second one was still pretty good. And Roman Reigns, I'm not going to lie, did hold his own. I didn't necessarily like the fact that he won, but I'm okay with that because it actually has a greater cause. It goes to the end of it goes to the main event. So I'm fine with that. But honestly, guys, I know there was a few backstage segments with the Golden Truth that was just weird, but I'm just going to let that go because they're both weird and they're going to be weird. That's not going to change. But the one moment, and I'm going to talk about this because in my opinion, in my heart of hearts as a woman, this is the main event of the freaking night. Sasha Banks won the women's championship. You have no idea how teary-eyed and happy I was and like trying to sniff and keep it together. I'm just like, oh no, it's all right, I'm gonna break down this one time. There was not one individual on Twitter or YouTube or whatever that is a woman that has saw that moment and did not cry or tear up. There was not a dry eye in the freaking house. Seriously, that was amazing. You have no idea how happy I am. But here's the thing. There's going to probably be a lot of people that's going to be pissed off that this happened on Raw. There's going to be a lot of people that's pissed off that the main event happened on Raw. But I'm going to put it this way. This is the main Raw. Well, this is the Raw after the brand split. The new era. Before, they kept talking about the new era, but it was still the same old PG era. This feels like change. For the first time ever, everybody has been screaming to the top of their lungs for change, and we finally are getting it. Raw is actually competing with SmackDown because SmackDown took the belt with them after Battleground. Dean Ambrose kept the belt. He took it to SmackDown. And then we hear that they're going to actually make their own belt. That has the worst name I ever heard in my entire life. The Universal Championship? Really? Did you guys run out of ideas? That's the horrible, horrible name. But I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. The fact that they're actually going to make their own title shows me that they're actually going to start competing with SmackDown. And they're bringing their A game. Which means that SmackDown is going to bring their A game. It's going to feel like competition, y'all. That's what's making me love this so much. Seriously, I thought it was going to be the same old crap. I was wrong. And I'm so happy to be wrong. I really am. But honestly, the one thing that I can say about this is that everything that has happened tonight feels new. It feels new, it feels fresh, and the main event felt fresher. And yeah, don't get it twisted. For the main event, they had an opportunity to execute Roman Reigns going heel. They set it up perfectly for him to go bad. But of course, he was respectful, said that he respected Finn Balor, and then when he wins the title from Seth Rollins, well, I mean, when he actually fights for Seth Rollins for the new championship, and he beats Seth Rollins, then that'll be a whole new thing that he's gonna probably go after him again. I'm like, dude, this sets you up to go heel. But even if he didn't go heel, I'm fine with that. The one thing I can say about Roman Reigns is that Roman Reigns has been dealt a bad hand. He's been booked poorly. And unfortunately, you can't really go back to the top if you want people to be behind you. That's the reason why a lot of people couldn't take him seriously in the first place. He seemed like a corporate guy. They want to feel, all the fans this is just my personal theory. I feel like fans really do want some of these characters to feel like them. If they really want Roman Reigns to get over, they got to start him at the bottom and work his way up. And I'm happy that he did lose, because this is a great way to rebook him and repackage him the best way they can do it. If they want to do it as a babyface, they got to do it right. I'm not going to talk about him going heel anymore because I've given up on that. But even if they don't, if they book him correctly, if they make him feel, if they make the WWE universe feel like this guy, okay, he is working his way up. He's actually trying. He's trying to get to where he is, but he has a lot of things stopping him. There'll be a lot, and he has emotion behind it. There'll be a lot of people that might fall behind him. Because honestly, I feel bad for the guy. I don't necessarily hate him, and I don't really hate him or anything. But the thing is that he's just booked really badly. But I'm hoping that this change, this repackaging, maybe it'll be the best thing for him. I'm hoping it will be. I don't want him to fail. But other than that, my overall thoughts about this Raw is this. Yes, they had some confusing moments with the Golden Truth about the whole Pokemon Go and stuff like that. But I'm going to say this. This Raw feels like change. The fact that we saw Sasha Banks win on a Raw, that's change right there. And there's nothing wrong with having a few freebies, especially a main freebie after the brand split, after the last pay-per-view, after the brand split. There's nothing wrong with having a title that changed hands every once in a while that is not on a pay-per-view. If you do it all the time, yes, you're giving money away. But if you actually do it when it seems important, and they made this Raw important. They made it feel like it's important. They didn't do that with the draft, but they did it for the new era. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Good job, WWE. You did a good job. You did an excellent job by making this new era feel important. Now all you gotta do is be consistent and don't crash and burn. Just continue it and don't just don't let it phase out. Because finally the women's division seems like it's actually starting to move forward, and that makes me even happier seeing that there's a new champion besides Charlotte. Not only that, we had so many amazing matches leading on up to the next belt that's going to be presented at SummerSlam. We're still going to have two separate brands, in my opinion. This is just my theory. I really feel like that Raw's going to have their thing, SmackDown's going to have their thing. But other than that, it's going to still feel big. It's going to feel like competition, and that's what it needs to be. Not only it needs to be competition, it needs to be fun. And I had fun doing it, especially live tweeting. I had fun live tweeting this whole thing. But other than that, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section below, because personally I feel like this has changed, and I am really positive that this is going to do good. I'm positive this is going to really go great. I really am. Just as long as they stay consistent. That's all that I'm saying about that. But other than that, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.